Oh boy, people are not gonna like this one. So I just finished my first ever playthrough of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, aka the second game in the Ezio trilogy. Have you ever finished a game before and been like, yeah, I didn't really have that much fun with that one, only to look at the review scores online and see practically everyone calling the game a masterpiece? It's a strange feeling. In this video, I'm going to review Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, highlighting the gameplay features it improved upon, but also going hard against some of the things it does very poorly. So buckle up, grab some iced coffee, and let's continue the journey of Ezio Auditore.
The liberation of Roma has begun.
I'm in a good mood, so let's start off on a positive note. It's good vibes only here, man. Let's talk about the things that Brotherhood does better than the first two AC games. The absolute best thing that Ubisoft did with Brotherhood was adding chain assassinations. If I were writing this review for IGN, I would say that Brotherhood really makes you feel like a highly skilled assassin. One of the most annoying things with combat in earlier AC games was waiting for enemies to shoot their shot. Wait, that didn't sound right. One of the most annoying things with combat was waiting for enemies to make the first move. Wait, let me try that again. Basically, it was annoying to wait for the enemy to attack first so that you could counter one-shot them with the hidden blade. The combat almost felt turn-based, and turn-based combat is usually pretty boring. But now, in AC Brotherhood, once you land a counter kill, you can instantly one-shot another enemy, and then another one. Cue the DJ Khaled.
Another one. Another one.
Ad infinitum until all the enemies are dead or one of them interrupts your killing spree. It was incredibly satisfying mowing down a whole group of Borgia goons. Ezio has really come a long way after 2 decades of honing his skills as an assassin. Ezio has also gained the ability to teleport across the screen. Perhaps it's his first civilization genetics that allows him to harness advanced technology. Oh wait, you're saying that's a bug? Oh, okay. Well, it is a Ubisoft game after all. It wouldn't be Ubisoft without copious amounts of bugs and glitches to go along with it. I mainly experienced this glitch in combat where Ezio and an enemy instantly teleport across the screen whenever you land a counter kill or chain kill. It was a bit jarring at first, but it was honestly pretty funny, so I didn't mind it. There are a few new weapons in Brotherhood as well. I just stuck with the gun and the hidden blades for most encounters, but I did use the crossbow a fair bit. The crossbow allows Ezio to silently take down guards from a distance without alerting everyone in the neighborhood. Though, funnily enough, using the gun also produces the same result most of the time. And just like AC2, Brotherhood allows you to collect the best armor set in the game by completing a series of tombs with parkour puzzles and combat. These ones are controlled by a cult group that runs around dressed in bear hides. It takes a while to complete them all, so I bet this armor set is totally dripped out, right? Right? I decided to wear the armor anyway because sunk cost fallacy is a bitch. I'm just wearing it for the stats, not the drip, I swear. The social stealth elements in Brotherhood are pretty similar to AC2. Crowd blending is much more fluid, making it easier to slip in and out of groups. You can hire courtesans to conceal your movements, or hire thieves and mercenaries to distract guards. Each of these factions also has a series of challenges and quests you can do, but most of that content is fairly mid. And then there are your assassin homies. A big part of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is building, you guessed it, a brotherhood of assassins. Throughout the map, you'll discover various NPCs who are getting harassed by the Borgia, and once you lay the smackdown on their oppressors, you'll be able to recruit them as assassins. And Ezio's all like, the liberation of Roma has begun. The cool part about this is you can call on them to assassinate targets for you, or otherwise help you out in sticky combat situations. Revelations would go on to flesh out this system even further, but Brotherhood provides a good first draft. I wish I could say that Brotherhood improved on all aspects of AC2, but unfortunately, it took a big step backwards in many other areas. First of all, mission design. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood has some of the most insanely restrictive and unfun mission design I've ever experienced in a video game. Almost every mission in this game has a section where you will instantly fail if you don't play exactly as the developers intended you to. When stealth games are at their best, they allow the player to approach and complete objectives however they see fit. Not in this game though. AC Brotherhood took the exact opposite ethos with their mission design. If a guard so much as gives you a brief ocular pat down, you get an instant game over and have to reload an earlier checkpoint. Let's walk through a few examples. There's a mission where you and your mercenary pals disguise yourself as French guards. You pretend to hold Bartolomeo captive and escort him to the French fort as a sort of Trojan horse move to rescue his wife. But the disguises are not enough. Along the way, you need to assassinate several groups of French guards who may blow your cover. There are so many ways to fail this mission. If you run ahead of the group, you fail. If you don't kill the guards before your group arrives, you fail. If any guard spots you killing, instant fail. If you kill the last guard but he turns around and looks at you while you're killing him, instant fail. Like, bro, I get you're supposed to be stealthy, but there are other ways to encourage stealth gameplay without making you instantly fail if you deviate even slightly from Ubisoft's script. Side note, how the fuck is leaving a pile of bodies in your wake considered stealthy? You're not even hiding the bodies. You're just killing mofos and leaving them out in the streets in broad daylight near other patrols of guards. Like, oh wow, who killed these guys? It wouldn't happen to be that gigantic group of soldiers who are escorting our enemy. Oh no, nothing suspicious here. Get the fuck out of here, man. If you want an example of a game that combines stealthy gameplay with player freedom, you need to look no further than the Hitman games. Hitman Blood Money came out in 2006, 4 years before Brotherhood, and its missions are way more fun than this game. The player is free to complete assassination missions in any manner of your choosing. The only way to fail a mission in this game is if Agent 47 gets killed. There may be some special cases, but as far as I remember, this is how it goes down. You are rewarded for more stealthy gameplay with higher mission scores, more money, and less notoriety. If you go in guns blazing, you'll get a worse reward and have to spend money paying off guards to keep from getting recognized as a wanted killer in subsequent missions. Plus, you're much more likely to get swarmed by guards and die. So you are punished more for sloppy gameplay, but you don't instantly fail the mission if a guard sees you for half a second. I wish Assassin's Creed would take a page out of Hitman's book. Brotherhood also doubled down on one of the worst mission types. You know what I'm talking about. Tailing missions. There are so many tailing missions in this game, you might as well call it Assassin's Creed Tailing Hood. Haha, got him! I know AC has been memed to death about tailing missions, but it's with good reason. Tailing missions are so fucking boring. Let's dive into one of these exciting missions. So you start following a guy as he moves as slow as humanly possible. You gotta stay close to him, but not too close. Get too far away and you fail, but get too close and you also fail. And to spice things up, they randomly turn around for no reason at all, whether you're being stealthy or not. And if he spots you, you instantly fail. Just truly riveting gameplay. 10 out of 10 stuff here in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. It's a masterpiece, I tell ya. Also, compared to the first two games, where Altair and Ezio globetrot to different cities throughout the Middle East and Italy respectively, Brotherhood takes place entirely in Rome. This isn't inherently a bad thing, but I definitely miss the city-hopping adventure of the first two games. Traversing Rome isn't quite as fun as, say, Venice in AC2, owing to the much more open spaces in the outskirts of the city. These areas are not as conducive to parkour, and many of the mountains and cliffs are unclimbable, meaning you'll have to take the scenic route to certain destinations. You can get around a bit faster with the horse and fast travel checkpoints, which is a good addition, but I don't know. I just didn't enjoy exploring Rome as much as other cities in previous AC games. I liked the more condensed environments where you could kind of bound across rooftops and that sort of thing, and that's not as present in Rome. The map UI is also a total clusterfuck. There are tons of icons and they are all black and white, so none of them look distinct at all at a glance. There are no options to toggle or filter through different icons, making it difficult to find the specific thing you're looking for on the map. Oh, you want to find Leonardo da Vinci? Just look for the black and white L on the map. Or wait, is it the white and black L? No, that's for Leonardo da Vinci missions, not the man. Like, Jesus, dude, what a mess. Side content was never a strong suit in early Assassin's Creed games, and Brotherhood is no exception. The side missions in this game are pretty lackluster. I was initially intrigued by the Christina missions, which explore Ezio's early memories and relationship with Christina before his life was turned upside down in AC2, but after seeing the first mission was a tailing mission, I tapped out. The faction missions for the courtesans, thieves, and mercs are all bog-standard fetch and kill quests from my brief sampling. Nothing really worth doing in my eyes. And while I initially thought the Leonardo missions would be badass, given their bombastic introduction in the main story, most of them just involve killing a random NPC who's carrying some blueprints. So while I was editing this video, I did some more research online and found out there are actually a handful of Leonardo missions where you can actually use his war machines, one where you can use the flying machine again, and another one with a tank. Those are pretty cool, and I wish I had stumbled upon these in hindsight. But still, there are only 3 of these missions in total, so again, Ubisoft gives you like 40 side missions, but only 3 or 4 of them are actually worth doing because they bring something unique to the table, and it's like finding a needle in a haystack. But still, I did want to point that out. Now we're going to get into spoiler territory and the main story. Skip to this timestamp for the conclusion if you want to avoid spoilers. AC Brotherhood opens up with Rodrigo Borgia's son, Cesare, attacking the Auditore family villa and killing Ezio's uncle Mario. It wouldn't be a Ubisoft game without a family death to motivate the protagonist. Ezio escapes the attack and goes to Rome to take on the Borgia and build an underground movement of assassins. You will spend most of the story working to undermine Borgia power and finding a way to get close to Rodrigo and Cesare Borgia so you can assassinate them. One major thing I didn't like about Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is there are barely any assassination targets in the main story. You have the Borgia banker, Micheletto in the theater, and the big bad Cesare. That's pretty much it. All the other objectives in the game revolve around non-assassin things. You don't even get to face off with Rodrigo because he gets killed in a cutscene in one of the most hilariously bad moments I've seen in this series so far.
If I want you to die, you die! Where is the piece of Eden?
Stop! I know where it is!
Requiescat in pace.
One of the big things I liked about the first 2 AC games was tracking and learning about your targets while slowly unraveling a conspiracy along the way. And I understand that you probably can't just repeat the same story blueprint in every game without it getting stale, but Brotherhood's missions were such a huge step backwards since you spend so much of the time doing ancillary busy work instead of, assassinating people. Sure, there are lots of assassinations in side content, but most of these are just nameless Borgia captains and that sort of thing. No major targets in the story. The main villain is also a total goober. Sure, Rodrigo Borgia in AC2 wasn't the greatest villain of all time or anything, but the guy had an air of mystery and a chilling ruthlessness that we got to witness throughout the story. And especially after he rose to power as the Pope, it was like, goddamn, we gotta take on the Pope. It was interesting. But Cesare is such an annoying, spoiled brat who f***ed his sister and is constantly yelling. The voice acting is just so grating with this guy.
Where is the apple? Tell me! No! 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 This is not how it ends! Chains will not hold me! I will not die by the hand of man! You cannot kill me! No man can murder me!
This is the best the Templars had to offer? What a joke. Plus, Ubisoft does that annoying thing where they have Cesare run away from you in a cutscene like half a dozen times throughout the game. This shit is always so frustrating, especially when you win in gameplay and then lose in a cutscene. It gives me major Kai Lang vibes. The little side faction squabbles weren't particularly interesting to me either, with the exception of Machiavelli's suspected betrayal. I was actually intrigued by that plotline, but it's sprinkled in between a lot of uninteresting nonsense. I really get the feeling that Ubisoft did not initially plan Ezio's story to continue past AC2, but after AC2's success, they decided to set up a couple sequels and had to scramble to slap a story together. I don't know if that's actually the case, but it's certainly what it feels like. To Ubisoft's credit, the modern-day plot does get a little spicy towards the end of the game, with Desmond killing Lucy after witnessing her future betrayal thanks to Juno. But they cap it all off with 18 minutes of unskippable end credits, another cardinal sin of video game design. Nobody wants to watch the end credits unless their own name is in it. And even then, you know the devs are turning that shit off after they spot their own name. At this point, I was so done with Brotherhood and had no intention of playing after the credits, so I just force quit the game and uninstalled it right afterwards. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was a deeply disappointing experience for me, especially after the phenomenal Assassin's Creed 2. Some gameplay mechanics were greatly improved, particularly the combat, but every other aspect of the game is a downgrade from its predecessor. The insanely restrictive insta-fail main missions were a slog to get through, the side content was unimpressive, and the main story was a boring, meandering journey compared to the epic 2 decades-long expansive plot of AC2. I'm glad I experienced Assassin's Creed Brotherhood to get the full scope of Ezio's journey, but I never want to play this game again. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe to Big Dan Gaming for more reviews on RPGs and action games. Big shout out to all the channel members for supporting my content. Until next time, this has been Big Dan. I should go.